Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Green Factor, a show where we talk about green design and the business of sustainability. I'm your host, Haris the Green Carpenter, and today we'll be talking to Souka Bakeshop and to explore their journey in terms of making their operation more sustainable. With me today, we have Puan Farah and Safiyyah from Souka. Hi, guys.
Hello, everyone. Hi,
Hi,
Hari.
Harry.
Right. So welcome to the show. Just to share a little bit of background, Suka is one of our earlier customer. Disclaimer. So they make like awesome cakes, and they are one of the few people that believe in recycle material, recycle furniture and all that. Because last time I remember in 2012, I think I started to explore recycled wood furniture, but at that time the uptake was really less. A lot of people have misconception about recycled wood, meaning like the stigma around it, like is it safe? Is it like uh, where does it come from and all that. So there wasn't really much an uptake, but in 2012 is when the hipster cafe boom start, and this is when we see a lot of cafes and restaurants they use recycled wood and second-hand furniture and all that. And Suka is also one of those companies that is with that trend, and it's been like how many years? When were you getting, Farah?
Sorry?
When were you guys in operation?
Exactly 10 years ago.
10 years
2012?
ago, huh?
Yes, when
2012,
you
huh?
started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So they are one of my very early customer in terms of recycle material furniture. And I think before we go into your journey, why don't you share a little bit about Suka and the journey you guys have been through?
Okay. I think I'll start first. Hi, everyone. My name is Farah. Okay. We basically start in 10 years ago, 2012 exactly. 10 years ago. Basically, at that point of time, my husband and I just came back from Melbourne, to be exact, and we studied abroad. And at the time, the cafe scene was booming. As you know, Australia is one of the first few countries that embrace cafe culture. So, having studied overseas, and I think my husband did his masters there. So when we came back, obviously I was out of job because I quit my job to follow him, and at that point of time, our friends who were also from Melbourne, Aman and Yana, they have they have this idea of opening up a cafe in Tamanton, in the neighborhoods of Tamanton. So so they asked me and asked us to sort of join them, because since I was not doing anything, and cooking, food, baking has always been my passion since small. I love to bake. I love to cook for people. I love to, gather my friends and family for a cookout and for makan-makan. So the idea at the point was very, 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 very inviting. So I took up their offer and became their chef for about 6 months. And I guess at the point of time, the cafe scene was still mushrooming, kan, it's about to start. So there were a lot of independent bakeries serving good cakes and desserts, that those homemade kind of desserts. At the time, there was only like, Angel Bakery, if you remember, probably Secret Recipe. Yeah. So having, passion in baking, mainly in baking. So my husband and I decided that, we probably could make a business out of it. So that's where Souka started in 2012, next to Muka Cafe. If you remember, it was a small, tiny space. You provided us with the carpentry works, and it was awesome. And then a few years later, we sort of got a lot of traction. A lot of customers, came to us, and we felt that that tiny space wasn't enough. So in 2015, we shifted our operations to the neighborhood of SS15 Subang Jaya. And then I think it was quite a rocky start, to say the least, because the cafe scene in Subang at the point of time still, still in baby steps, baby age. So um, uh, and apa ni apa nak cakap?
So you moved to the new place, the bigger
Yeah,
place.
we
Ah.
moved to the new place, and then we were so lucky enough to have found Safiyyah. Saf joined us, I think 6 months after we first opened in Subang Jaya. She also shared the same passion for food. She's an excellent cook, like really excellent. And I think from there we started building our friendship, our relationship, and later on we decided to make her partner. Yeah, so I think basically that's about roughly the background of how Suka
Hmm.
started.
Yeah. One decade now.
One
Saf,
decade.
your input, Saf, your journey a little bit before Suka and with Suka.
Been ever so exciting. Every day is so different. And now that uh, Farah and Afiq has always been very open to feedback, customer feedback, my feedback, the whole team, where they always keep an open conversation. That's what makes it easy and fun for me. Uh, Also, Suka has been, we struggle on the daily, but we try to keep ourselves at state where we serve customers our best, where they keep coming back. Lah. They keep coming back and they share to their friends and family, and the friends and family come back to us. That's how we keep Suka alive. Yeah.
So like just to share a little bit of story with you
Mm-mm.
guys as well. Before I met you guys, I don't like red velvet now. I hate red velvet, but like yours, the red velvet that you make makes me like love red velvet. So there's
Ooh.
something about it. So right now it goes to the next question. I mean, like, what does your business offer? I mean, like, what kind of things you make and offerings lah.
Okay, maybe I can fill in that. So basically, Suka is all about homemade, classic desserts, cakes, pastries. We offer a whole, a list of range of cakes. Of course, we started with red velvet cake because at the time it was trending. To be honest with you, I it was something new to me as well. Growing up, we always loved chocolate cake or vanilla, and that's it. That's about it. Angel cake. I always remember angel cake because it was so nearby my house. So red velvet was trending, and I came up, with the recipe through trial and error. So I guess it has been, our bestseller. Even until today, it's our bestseller, and
Until now,
until now, no
nice.
joke, it's been the bestseller number one since day one. So and then it was just recently that we started to offer pastries because again it's trending. Everybody's doing pastries, breads, buns. Not the Japanese or Korean type, but more of the European type. So yeah, so that's offering that we have at Suka. And also at the same time we also cater to cafes, to other businesses. We cater for events, functions, company birthdays or functions and dessert tables lah, basically. um, And not just cakes, we also have hot food, coffee at the cafe. We also do deliveries. We partner up with GrabFood and Foodpanda. We were also one of the first to actually partner up with them when we first started. So it's been quite a long-term relationship lah with Foodpanda and Grab.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. Saf, what's the since Farah touched about pastry? What are the pastries, and what is which one is doing well?
So the one that customers love the most, okay? It's not just because it's trending, but customers ask for it. That's why we offer. So the one that they love the most is the cinnamon roll, and the second best would be cranberry stone. Yeah,
What's
the
cranberry stone?
scone like a scone,
Oh,
cranberry
scone,
scone.
scone, scone.
Ah,
Okay, okay, okay. So you
so
guys have
that one
the
is
cream
fast
as well.
selling. We serve it with butter and jam.
No, the clotted cream very
Not
difficult
the
to find,
clotted cream tak ada lah bro,
Very difficult.
sorry. Very difficult to keep on the shelf because
Hmm.
it's expensive and it only lasts like 1 day. The next day it's going to be spoiled. So we
Hmm.
opt for butter and jam. So
Understand.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
the viewers and listeners, I can vouch for their cakes because I'm not really a sweet tooth kind of person, but I love what you guys made. Not biased because you're my client,
And every time
but
you have a birthday, you'll WhatsApp us like, hey Saf, I need a cake. I need a cake.
my go-to
Okay.
people for cakes. So that's why when you guys said Afiq said that you guys want to be more sustainable and on that journey, so it really intrigues me. So that comes the next question.
Mhm.
Why do you decide to go on this sustainable journey?
Suka have decided to go along this way because, well, technically, when I joined the team, what I see is there's a lot of what you call it, bahan buangan, not wastage. What do you call it? Disposable items. So we've got food items that's disposable. We've got non-food items, which is most of the time cardboard boxes, plastic, aluminium tin, glass bottles. And to be honest, I've been uh, an avid, like fanatic, like big deal. Recycling is a big deal for me since I was a teenager, since I was in high school. I've been doing that. So it just makes sense to me that, you know what, it's a lot of stuff. The only thing I can do is do me, which is send it to the recycling center that I always go to, which is only like 500 meters from our outlet. So if by my own observation, every year or like every year we keep on it, the amount of disposable items have been increasing. Like right now, as of right now, I go to the recycling center almost every day because if I don't go every day, so I load it in my tiny car. So if I don't go every day, I go every 3 days, it's gonna be too full in my car. I cannot fit in my car. And it's just along the way balik rumah, so why not, right? And also, as you mentioned earlier, like how Suka started and we got you to supply craftsmanship from used material, used wood. That was very amazing. I mean, the ones that you did for Muka, we've been using it and reusing it, and now that uh, 10 years later, it's still like sturdy. Macam nothing wrong with it. We can still use it. We can still hang stuff on it. Nothing, no problem. Um, so this disposable items at Suka is not just internal. It's not just from our kitchen, but we have suppliers and distributors as well who supply, for example, juice bottles. And these juice bottles, the center that I go to in particular don't take glass at all. They don't take glass, they
Hmm.
don't take wood. So
Hmm.
what I it was a problem to me. I'm like, where do I put these glass bottles? So I asked the lady who supplies the juice, hey, I've got a lot of your juice bottles. Can I return them to you? And she's like, of course, no problem. Please return it to us.
Mm.
So she didn't tell us when we first started to order. But when I asked, it's just a small initiative of asking. So now we
So
keep on reusing the bottles, you know?
mm. Yeah, so that is, I think, the next question. The first is the
Mm.
why. So the why comes from your avidness of recycling one, and then because I think you guys have seen like the value of recycled stuff and all that. So there's a lot of merit in having sustainability as part of a business. The
Mm-mm.
next question is like, how do you practice sustainability in a bakery? So this is
Okay.
more of the details, the initiatives and
Uh,
all that.
the initiative, it's
Mm.
just small steps where I I manage the team, right? So I inform the team, hey, you guys, this is part of the SOP now. When you throw your waste or items, make sure you separate, food waste and non-food waste, which we provide a separate bin. So all the recyclable items goes in one bin, and the food items goes in another bin. Um, and at first, they were not reluctant, but they forgot, like, oh, everything just goes to one bin. So I have to be the bad cop. I say, hey guys, this doesn't go here, it goes here, like every day. Guys, remember, it's this bin, recycling bin. So eventually, like 7 years later, they are all natural recyclers. Even they send me their, hey, dude, I have a lot of bottle. Can you help me send recycle? I'm like, my pleasure, please. I will help you send to the recycling center. So my whole team are now, I can say they're pretty much greener than how I first met them before. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think
Mm.
besides, can I just add to that?
Mm.
Yeah.
We don't just recycle stuff. We also I think in the past collaborated with Grabcycle, whereby they collect apa ni, non-sellable end products like cakes at a cheaper price. They are not expired, or they have not gone bad, but they take it, instead of chucking it in the bin, they will take it at a certain price, and then charge to the customers at a certain price. And I think it worked for a while, until I think they changed their business model basically. Yeah, and then it was also South's friends, a bunch of, they're all South friends. So basically, South kind of started this whole sustainability idea at Suka, and we just follow through, and yeah, and then we basically adapt to what she has already done in the past. Besides that, I think another sustainability effort that we do at Suka is, since we supply cakes to other cafes, they come in boxes and boxes. When we supply, and then apa ni, we will ask them to return back the boxes to us, so that we can actually reuse it again. They're not dirty or anything. It's still the same cake that we supply to them every day. So that's another way of reusing, to reduce waste on the cake boxes, because we use tons and tons of cake boxes every year, like a lot. So I think, yeah, that's another
Mm.
effort lah from our side.
Mm. Yeah, so when you talk about F&B, like you state, there's a lot of waste. I think like what when we talk about F&B business is the waste created or generated from the perishable, the day-to-day packing and all that, because it
Yep.
needs to be hygienic and all that. So sometimes you have to throw away stuff and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm seeing is the way you approach it is more on, first is the mindset, like Saf is heading it, so the workers need to understand, and like you say, it's very difficult sometimes because it's not in our day to day, so it
Yep.
becomes it's out of the blue, so we sometimes we cannot they cannot adapt to it, but like you say, now eventually after a while they get into it, they understand it, and it becomes something in them. So the
Yeah.
Yep.
mindset I see is important, and then you are doing rightly where you see what are the ways that you created the most, like the boxes, and because it reminds me of what's happening right now in Belgium. I think I have a friend there, so she what right now because pandemic, so people order Grab and all that, so
Right.
they have this service where companies that provide the food, they have in like bowls or something like that. So the next time you order, you can pass to them. So rather than it being thrown away and all that, it circulates into the system. So I agree what you're doing, and it's amazing that you guys can actually do that and also persuade your client to do that, because when you talk about sustainability, it's not just about us. It's about where does the thing goes next, and before your suppliers and all that. So of
Yeah.
course, it's very difficult to find the buy-in from them. But congratulations on doing that, lah. And I think you guys get also planning can do more and all that. So that is what the next question is more on the challenge. So if you want to, because I have a lot of people that ask me like, how do I become more sustainable? But at the same time, they need to understand the challenge. So the
Yeah.
motive of the show is to get to highlight more local companies, their journey of sustainability. So what are your problem or challenge in terms of implementing sustainability in your company?
The challenges that we face, and I'm sure a lot of it's quite generic. This challenge is of course costing. So to be sustainable, at least it comes with a cost that can be quite high. For example, using paper material or recyclable material and packaging. Um, you have to easily increase cost price is increased by 20%. And for a small business, we are not ready to incur such costs and to pass it through our customers. So, because when we pass it to our customers, for such a small item, but for an expensive, for example, lah, paper bag. Okay, it's a paper bag because you only order one item. I give you one paper bag. It's quite costly compared to you order one item and I give you in a plastic bag. Okay, so it's quite generic that not everybody in this world is able to or want to pay for this green premium, but we try to implement it and also make customers aware of it. So, for example, they only order one item, we will ask them, "Do you need a bag?" Okay, and most of them, especially here in KL, so far they have no issue. They'll say, "You know what? It's okay. I don't need it." In fact, some of them just want a cupcake. They say, "Just put it in my hand. I want to eat it now." And then this is packaging lah. And then for other challenges that we face is such as raw materials. Most of our items are imported items, which has high carbon footprints. Things like chocolate, dairy, even like Japanese flour. It is difficult for us to get local items that can suit the grades that we look for to create these products to offer to our customers. There are local products, but not all of them are at a standard or at a taste that we would like. Okay, but there are a few that we now work with. For example, there's a cocoa brand, Reborn, who manufactures locally.
Yeah.
Uh, so it
So basically, they
decreases.
grow they
Yeah,
grow their own
they grow
cocoa.
cacao. Yeah.
Yeah, they grow their own trees and then they manufacture
Mm-mm.
and they supply to the local market basically. So our challenge is like Saf said is actually to find companies that would want to, to find green companies like Lebon, because since most of our products are imported, the we are actually, when we purchase from them, we are actually promoting to the carbon emission, that they produce by just delivering from one point to our shop. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So
Mm.
and then I guess another challenge is also consistency.
Mm.
Like you said, it takes time for us to adapt to probably the reuse, recycle. So sometimes we lack consistency whereby we forgot, like Saf said, like she has to remind everybody, you have to put this stuff one side and the food wastage one side, and not just on our part, it's also on the customers part, where they don't finish their food, so it goes to the bin, it's food wastage. And it's quite common to see people don't finish their food, and then when we give them their receipts, they don't actually bring them home, it's being thrown out, is being left at the table. So those
yeah,
small things are actually something that we can do something about. We can actually probably educate the customers, or maybe offer, not whether you want receipt or not, because sometimes people don't really like these people, they don't really need the receipt, so we don't give the receipts, then we
yeah.
save paper. Yeah.
And we save cost.
Yeah, and we save costs at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what just to summarize, so
Mm-hmm.
the one of the issues are first education, meaning like the educate the customer, educate the workers,
Mm-hmm.
and people that involved in the operation. So that is one. Then the supply chain issue. I think it's true for a lot of companies because like I do a lot of consultancy for business as well on how to adopt sustainability. Normally, what we say is you look at all the process that is involved and try to make each process greener. Of course, you can't do all, and
Yeah.
you do bit by bit, but there are certain challenges. Even like for us, we have right now finding hard to find alternative for plastic wrap because we have to
Right.
pack our products so for rain and all that, so we can't use
Yeah.
paper and all that, so we still have to do it, and the alternative is so expensive and not easily available. But these are, I think, some of the things that a collective thing that we need to have more conversation with. One, with businesses, if they see that there's a need there and there's a
Yeah.
demand there,
Yeah.
they will try to get that. And at the same time, if one of us have the solution and then we share, then we can help the company to grow. They can help economies of scale and they can make the products cheaper as well.
Yep.
So I think these are some of the things that what we want to have more conversation on in Malaysia. Because
Good.
especially when we talk about sustainability, when we search about sustainability, it's always about a Western example and all that, right? So that's
Yeah.
why I do this show is because we want to show that okay, these are the local example of businesses that is doing it, and like you say, some people you through your green thing you save money, right? Like going paperless and all that. A lot of people when they say they want to go sustainability, it's about solar panel, new machine, expensive material. So there's a lot of other ways we adopt sustainability and beneficial for the business. So thank you for sharing your thought, especially in terms of the cost saving one, because I think a lot of businesses want to look into that. And what's the future of Suka? What are you guys planning to do in the future?
We have like some ideas and thoughts. Probably we would start with apa ni we would start by implementing reusable cups, like how Starbucks are doing right now. So we can promote to customers to bring their own paper bags, their own reusable cups, their green bags in order to bring
Mm-hmm.
back or to take away whatever that they have purchased at the shop. I think that could be the first step in educating our customers of the
Which we
importance
do.
of
We already started that, like,
yeah,
slowly.
yeah,
Like, it's not
slowly
like promoted, but we have customers who keep on coming back with their own
containers.
cups
Yeah,
and Tupperwares and bags.
yeah. And then I think the next step will probably be since we haven't started on food composting, we probably should do that because we do have a lot of food
A
wastage.
lot.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
just from what the customers have purchased, but also on our part.
Yep.
We have expired cakes, which we sometimes give away, before
Most
they
of the
expire.
time.
Yeah, most of the time we give away to the nearest charity or our neighbors or even our family and friends.
Or the Pak
But
Guards.
yeah, and then but in order to use the food compost, we actually have to have a land and a crop, that we can actually, it's a cycle. You can actually use those the food compost that we made, you know. So
Yeah.
it's a long term. I guess it's a long term plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which in
yeah.
fact we will be collaborating with Urban Hijau soon enough. So together
Yes.
with Nika, all our food scraps are going to them, and Urban Hijau will be supplying, fresh produce to us, hopefully.
Yes. Yes.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I guess another option, another idea, okay, is to actually work with green companies. I mean, we have started by purchasing biodegradable containers and so on, but again, it comes back to costing, So, it would be a quite a shift to be able to entirely use biodegradable products, especially the containers and takeaway cups and paper bags. So yeah, I think that's another step on our
Yeah, yeah,
path.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So that's quite a handful as well to do.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think like you guys on the right track, and I think like one of the things moving forward that needs to be done more is the communicating thing with the distributor, with the clients, the workers, and all that. And at the same time, I know it's very difficult and costly. So that's why I believe that we need to support more businesses to go there that adopt sustainability and all that. So that's why this flyer, I want to have show with more F&B companies so that one they can buy for buka and all that, because even like the poster that I promote, a lot of people are like, hey, bulan puasa cakes and all that. I said like you see during the day and then we bring buka, you order lah. Yeah, so thank you for sharing your journey. And I think like this kind of conversation we can continue and talk more on it. And for the viewers and listener, if you guys want to know more about them, you can visit their IG at Souka Bakeshop, or you can buy directly at their website suka.com.my. They have awesome cakes and pastry now. I haven't tasted your pastry, but I'm sure with
sure.
the taste profile, it's going to be amazing. And so, for viewers and listeners, um, if if you want to know more or have conversation, do talk with them and be part
Yep.
of the conversation. Like
Yep.
in Facebook, we have Green Design Asia, where we talk about all these issues. We have business people, we have designers, students, and researchers. We talk about these kind of issues so that, because solutions, one person don't have all the solutions. We need to have a lot of this conversation going around. Because right now, for example, face mask. People ask me what to do with face mask. I would answer normally because I'm not an expert in it, so I don't have an answer for it. But I'm sure if we have more of people talking about it, like if, for example, 50 people talk about it, probably 2 or 3 people will have the solution. So this is where we need to do our part in engaging, asking question and all that. So be part of the conversation and be part of the solution as well. So with that, thank you very much again for Team at Souka, and for the viewers and listeners. Thank you for viewing and have a green week ahead.
Thank you,
Bye bye,
Harith, for
guys.
inviting us.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much.
Thank